Hello, everyone. I come to you on a very sad moment. It's still crooked. Hold on, you guys. Let me get it fixed so we're looking eye to eye. They found the body of little Mackenzie, of Serenity Mckenny. And not only did they find her little body, they already had the parents in custody. The boyfriend, not the biological father, the boyfriend and the mother. At first, they charged the boyfriend, Dakota Hill, with murder. And now it's even upgraded to the mother is also being charged with murder. And then Dakota is being charged with abusing a corpse. I'm going to go to the news here. I'm not doing a reading. I'm just coming to you because this is what we do for work. We have resolved, but it's not what we wanted. I know a lot of us, including myself, had a lot of hope. And we don't need to give up hope. It's just that she has crossed over. And once a child crosses over, they are no longer in anguish or pain at all. And they no longer suffer. So, Serenity gained her wings. All right, so WDRB reports mother of missing 4-year-old Kentucky girl charged with murder. I want to look and see if this is the one I want to read because I want it to bring up the father too, and I'm sure it will. So the boyfriend's the one that did it. This is just crazy. Okay. Louisville, Kentucky, WDRB reports the mother of a 4-year-old Kentucky girl who's been missing for more than a year was charged with murder today, Saturday. Serenity Ann Mckenny hadn't been seen since Christmas Eve of 2020, according to Shelby County Sheriff's Office. Family members said they spoke with Serenity over the phone about 8 months ago, but since then, they've had no contact with the child. According to Kentucky State Police, the child's body was found in a wooded area near the 1300 block of Skyview Road in West Point, near the Jefferson County, Bullitt County line at around 2 p.m. yesterday, Friday. An autopsy was scheduled for this morning. Catherine Mckenny and 26-year-old Dakota Hill, Catherine's boyfriend, were charged with murder and abuse of the corpse. Catherine Mckenny, 21, and Hill were arrested and booked into the Thomas County Sheriff's Office jail in Colby, Kansas, charged with custodial interference earlier this month. Catherine and Hill, both from Shepherdsville, are being housed at the Shelby County Detention Center after being extradited from Kansas, according to Kentucky State Police. Shelby County Sheriff's Office previously said Catherine hadn't been cooperating with the investigation. Family members have held vigils and passed out flyers with Serenity's picture, hoping someone had seen the 4-year-old girl that would come forward. I and the 1111 family send out our heartfelt healing to Serenity's biological father and all the family members that did love her and those that maybe didn't even know her but had embraced Serenity in their heart. We send our love to you. There's no words that we can offer because unless you're in those shoes, there's nothing that we can offer. There's no relief. When you lose a child, and I speak from experience, when you lose a child, mine Mine was, I was basically a foster parent for a 4-year-old that died, named Chelsea Rose. When you lose that child, there is no one or no words that can fill that void. And I promise you that void doesn't ever go away. But what we can do is we can make it so well known that Serenity is not dying in vain, but that her light shines huge. It shines that this drug induced fad, addiction, this meth is of the most wicked, nothing good, nothing, zero, nothing good comes of it. And we have to really look at this in a whole new way and be more preventative in some manner. If you are relatives, um, I would love to say that we're all untouched by the evil drugs, but we're not. Like one of my very best soul sisters' daughter, we have struggled for 3 years. We have worked as a family. We were able to keep the children out of her grasps. She's currently sought by the law. The children have been removed. They are in safe places of family members. We were fortunate. We did not give up. We had family meetings behind this person's back when she did have custody of the child as to how do we get the child and get her to safety. And there was 2 girls involved. Just as we struggled to get the 2 girls involved, the young ones who at the time when we started, I believe were 6 and 7. By the time they were 8 and 9, they had been removed through social services of our county and placed in grandparents' homes. So we switch off. Like we get visitation on the girls, but the mother has to have supervised visitation. She's since had a baby. Yep, they just keep having them. So before the baby was even born, we did an intervention with the mother, and got her so that she realized that unless she makes different choices, she cannot have the baby. Social services removed the infant, so she left the hospital without the baby, and they gifted the baby custody to the grandparents, and we get to see the baby, and these children have a beautiful life. But it was all due to taking action and not letting months and months go by, not allowing 2 weeks to go by. I mean, you can't just be like, oh, that's the parent and that's how they're raising their kids. No, you are here. It is your obligation. It's not just something you need to think about. It's your obligation to protect a child. The child cannot speak for themselves if they are not in school yet. You see something, you damn sure better say something. You may be that only child's hope. One of the little girls, my soul sister's granddaughter, happens, I'm going to just give her first name, is Grace. How fitting, huh? It's like these children have to be born with superpower, extraordinary talents to survive. We've got to do better as a society. Why is welfare not requiring drug testing? There's got to be ways to prevent things like this from happening. When I say things, who abuses a corpse? Who abuses a child like that? Do you know how wicked you have to be? You almost have to be soulless. And is that what meth does? Is it selling your soul? Because from what I'm seeing, I have very little hope for anybody on meth at this point. I feel like this courage to change, we need to see some parents that have recovered and that have regained their lives to restore my faith. Because at this point, I'm terrified. Anytime I hear that there are meth drug charges, I want their kids taken right then. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear what kind of help they're getting. No, I want you to piss test clean If you get caught doing meth, your kids are gone till you piss test clean. And they watch you pee. That's what needs to happen. Because we are in a spiritual battle here. We are losing our innocent children's lives. I went to do a recording today that the camera shut off on. I don't know why. So I ditched the recording. I'm going to redo it. We'll start over, but it's on Little Bixby. Cody Bixby. I don't know what we can do, y'all, but please, please help. Because we need to change the laws. We need to change things for our children. We need to get it to where balance is restored. Do you know how many of these have turned out to be an abduction? All these cases that I'm working? One. Cleo. The rest of them have been their parents. The one created to protect them have been the one killing their own children. Or hiding them in stairs. Or cupboards. This coming up week, it's going to be a hard week. I personally am doing a lot of meditation this weekend because we've got blood in the Annie Oakley case. I say Annie Oakley. I don't know why I said that. In the Oakley Carlson case. Maybe Annie Oakley. It just keeps coming up. And I know we have a new member named Annie Oakley, but there's something about Oakley Carlson. I keep getting that, like, I don't know. I'm just exhausted from it. I'm going to take the next few days off to meditate. We're going to be covering Oakley Carlson. There it was again. Oakley. Maybe there's an Annie involved in that case. I don't know. But we're going to cover the Bixby case. So that will be Cody Bixby. We're going to cover Oakley Carlson's case. And we'll go from there. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. So I'm going to go rest and cry. Because, I do have a lot of hope. I guarantee you, we're going to change the world. You and me. That's how that whole thing in the truckers convention started, right? One trucker said to another, "Hey, Ralph, hey, what? I'm not getting that vaccination. And I'm not going to lose my job. I'm going to still be able to feed my family. And I don't think we should do that." And then they all talk and everybody starts talking and they get strength as a group to make changes. With the Cody Bixby case, right now we're looking at getting Cody Bixby law. So it'd be the Cody alert. And how it works is in Virginia, to get an Amber Alert, you have quite a lengthy eligible list you have to make. You have to check every box green, and that includes the police have to believe it's an abduction. And if you don't get that, you don't get an Amber Alert, and the public has no idea the kid's missing, and it's left up to the news or YouTube, whatever. So Cody's alert would bypass that. It would give you, it wouldn't require what kind of status it is. The kid is missing. Let's get everybody out there. The Harmony Montgomery bill, it's out there on the where we vote to get it in. It's there. And that, it fixes that part where if a parent that's being watched because they've been neglectful or whatever their reason is that social services is involved and the child is on the radar, they can't just switch a state and be clean record and go with whatever. So Harmony Montgomery's bill, it follows the child from state to state so that the child is being sought after and looked after. We're getting laws changed. And Oakley Carlson has laws that are going to be coming into effect. This doesn't happen just because they're missing kids that got attention. It happens because of you. It happens because of me. It happens because people paid attention. You know, you've got to pay attention. And you've got to be the voice for these missing kids. Not just me. You guys are just as much the voice. Maybe more. I'm here to inspire you, to light that lantern on that dark path for these kids and be the voice for them. But you're the continued voice. You're ringing it out yourself. You're seeing their little faces on whatever media you're watching, and you're getting it out there. You're bringing it up to your friends, to your family, showing them the picture of these kids. And we're all getting strong enough to face the darkness. If these kids had to live it, I think we should be able to mentally endure what it takes rather than close our eyes and say, that makes me feel bad. I don't want to know about it. We can't turn a blind eye. If we turn a blind eye on our children that need us, we are as guilty as the ones committing the crime. Because we're doing it for a selfish reason. I don't look forward to doing some of these readings. I guarantee you. Some of these readings, I will lay on my bed and just try to cleanse my energy and not think about the information, because if I sat there and thought about it and meditated and was given the answer already that this child has passed, I may not even want to do the reading. But every time I go, I think about the little kid that does not have a voice right now, that does not have food in front of him, that are being starved by these wicked people. It's come out. Oakley Carlson was being starved. Isabella Kalua was being starved. Isabella Kalua was kept in a dog kennel. And we ask, who could do this to little children? Who would be so wicked? The soulless. We are the light. We are the ones to show the love and do our best to set the light on the path that guides us to a protected future with our children. We can create that vibration. We can create a frequency of love, a frequency of protection, a frequency of pain, very strong attention. When I go in a store, I now watch children. I pay attention. If a mother snatches something away and is rude to the kid, I will call her out. I will say to the little girl, are you okay? I feel our schools need to be teaching our children that parents nor authorities are God. If you're hurt, I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your grandma, your uncle, your neighbor, your school attendant, your teacher, your church, some straight, anybody hurts you, not just touches you down there, but hurts you. Call it out. Get help if you can. Don't be afraid to run out of your house to get help. As a neighborhood, I had a little boy that lived across the street. It was his grandparents' house. I'm going to give you a story, a true story. And I swear to you truth. 3 o'clock in the morning, I was working at the time in my shop out back. And I heard some yelling. And I was like, what in the hell? I live in a small town. It's the middle of a weeknight. Why is there yelling coming from outside? I got a little bit nervous and I grabbed my baseball bat. Solid steel, solid metal, hard baseball bat. Not solid, but you know what I'm saying. It was a solid bat. And I went outside and I came to my front yard, which is right out here. And it was a poorhouse on our block. They didn't have much. And they always got my kids as extra clothes, for their grandkids. And they had a little kid named Billy, and they had a little girl named Abby. Abby is 5. Billy's 8. They live across the street when they're there. So the mother would get custody half the time, and then the kids would come to grandma's because the father was always in prison and jail and in and out, never really counted on. Well, I to this day don't know what happened at that house. But I came outside my shop and I walked down my driveway, and they had their porch lights on, and they had all the lights on in their house, and I could see shadows moving around, and it looked like one of the most serious fights, which they had fights. Cops were over there all the time. This was going down. Both little kids, Billy and Abby, are standing in the front yard with their backs to my property, standing about 20 feet from their front door, holding hands. Abby had on Billy's boots, his rain galoshes, Billy's barefoot, and it's cold out. And they're holding hands, staring at this property. And you can see, holy hell is breaking down in that house. I could have, one, turned around and went back to my own business, right? If I had no soul, no care, just walked off. Or two, you see something, you say something. That's right, I took action. I walked over, I knew the children. I said, come on, kids, time to go. I didn't say bye to the parents. I didn't involve those grandparents or whatever they had going on. Apparently, they're all drunk over there. Yep. I brought them into my house. I got them warm, got them hot cocoa, sent them off in the bathroom with PJs, told them to individually get dressed, and I put them in the spare bedroom, and I sat in the chair beside them, and I read them some stories. Got them calm, got them to sleep first, where I knew they were safe, they were cared for. And I could hear them carrying on over there. Well, you think they just let that go across the street? Nope. When I went to grab them and I took their hands, oh, they come running out of the house. 2 grown big men with baseball bats towards us. And I said, stop right there. Don't make another move. They had no idea if there was a gun trained on them or not from my house. But they stopped in their track, and I said, we'll have none of that. I'm the only adult here, and I will not have it. These children will come to my home. They will be tended to. You will answer to the authorities. Good night. That's all there was. They didn't open their mouth to me. The older one slugged the younger one, the uncle. The grandfather slugged the father. But, I mean, the brother or uncle or whatever. The father was in jail. So this is the uncle and the grandfather. Slugs him and says, I told you you're getting too loud. You're getting the neighbors up. I didn't stick around to ask what happened. I didn't give them a choice. Once I got those kids tucked in, first I called the mother. And I told her what happened and that she would need to come pick up her children tomorrow morning. I then called CPS. Yep. I didn't just call CPS. I made damn sure I followed up. That don't make me a hero. That makes me normal. That's a normal thing to do to protect our children. Doesn't matter if it's your kid. That child has no one. That parent isn't there at that time. What do? Needless to say, they got relocated and were never over there again. And I didn't get to see the kids again, but maybe once. I think I've seen them. I saw Billy a couple times because he's a little older and he rides his bike. And so he did bike over into our neighborhood a couple times. You know. But I didn't care if I had to call CPS once or 1,000 times. I don't care if I have to go down and follow up with the circuit court. I'm going to stay on it until I know those kids are okay. I'm just not going to, there's no reason to stop. What's your priority in life? And I know I'm really upset right now, y'all. I'm very upset right now. Dakota, I wish you wellness, because you're obviously a very sick individual to have harmed this beautiful child. I wish you wellness of the extreme type. I don't know what karma's going to do to bring you that wellness, but the universe balances everything out. That's all I got to say. We'll let karma handle. And for that mother, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for what has happened. None. Zero. That's your flesh and blood. Serenity's light will shine a long time in my heart. That little wrinkly nose, I mean, you could tell she had character. Just probably bubbly, and I don't know. I just feel like I could kiss her all over, you know. We got to work on changes. We got to. And why is it just the internet working on this? Why is media not okay? So I read an article today about Cody Bixby, 400 missing kids in Virginia alone. 400 missing kids right now in Virginia alone. 400. What? You don't think that's a pandemic, a crisis? I do. I certainly do. If you get a charge in court related to meth, you shouldn't be able to leave that courtroom until your children are brought in the door and taken from you. That's how I feel. If you go to court, you get a meth charge, I feel right there and then your children need to be removed. Because you have no business, none, having those kids there. You ain't got enough sense. Take care of yourself, obviously. So you certainly don't need to be in charge of minors that have no voice because they're too little to even be in school. Y'all notice all these kids? They're all before age of school. All of them that we're doing right now. All of them that we're doing right now. They're all right before they go to school. Right before they go to school. 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old. Why? Why are we not catching it before then? You hear about Dakota's other charges. And if the mother's associating with them, y'all, if you're a grandparent and you haven't seen your grandkid in a long time, and you're involved in the mother's life, why? All right, I'm getting off my soap bubble. You know, we all got to vent. This is just me venting because, you know, this gets stressful sometimes. I know, I got to get rid of the shirt. I don't like it. It's really loose and uncomfortable. I thought it'd be cute, and I've had it for a while, but I think I've lost quite a bit of weight since I wore it, and it doesn't fit right. Okay, now I'm talking about fashion. I definitely need off here. I love you guys to the moon and back. I truly do. I am so grateful for every one of my Starlights, every one of my 1111 family, and all of you for joining me here today, that we do devote ourselves to making a change for our children in this lifetime. That every day we are working towards a better protection on the little ones. I love you guys. I thank you for coming. I'm going to come up to topside now. I'm going to actually pull the phone down so you're going to get like a view of the ceiling and all that. It's the only way I can do chat. But I'm actually going to pull this out of its little holder. Thank you, Romero. 12-step woman says should be that way for parenting. I had to fill out an application form and be interviewed a couple of times to adopt my kittens. Oh my God, for real. We go through more process of adopting an animal from the Humane Society than these parents are at getting kids back. Like Harmony Montgomery was just handed to a father that had not even shown up for his previous court cases and had a history of drugs. Hi, Jenny Lovely. Thank you. P Legal Intel says it's very much a crisis that's being ignored by legal authorities. Yes. Linda says what is going on with our children is so sad. Oh my God. Yes. Lori Miller says you do the right thing. That's what you do. That's right. Well, and I want to switch gears a little bit. We're going to get close to each other for a minute. I want to talk to you guys a little bit. So a lot of people on a different note, as long as we have a minute, let's talk about this. There's a lot of people that are very much about like telling me what another reader saw or a dream that you've had, a vision, and wanting me to interpret or see if I align with that. And I don't do that, you guys. That's not what I'm here for. If you have a vision, go ahead and ask your guides more about it. That's your vision. It's not something given to me. That's not the message. The only messages I receive are from direct divine. And that's what I stick with. If another reader reads something, that's between them and their guides and whoever chooses to incorporate that information. But I'm not here to validate another reader. I'm not here to answer what you saw in a dream or what you feel. My opinion doesn't even matter, because when it came to Ronnie Lawson, my opinion is completely different. I think, okay, I stand by my cards. I do, 100% by my guides. My guides tell me that he's a decent man. He's trying to do this for Summer in the right way. I agree. I stand by my cards. My personal thought is he is terrible at his job. It's not that he wants to be bad, because the cards show me he's trying. He's just not really good at his job, right? So he doesn't get a search warrant immediately when a neighbor says, no, you can't search my property. No. I'm not okay with that. He screwed up. Did he do it intentionally is the question. No, it showed in the cards he wasn't intentionally doing anything. But for me, my opinions don't really matter, you guys, because I'm an instrument of the message. And there's times I'm shocked as crap. I'm like, oh my golly, this is the message. And I thought completely different. But once I'm meditating with the divine and I'm given the message, I gain the understanding of the deeper understanding, at least, of what's really going on. Then I can share that. But everybody's like, what do you feel about this? What do you feel about that? I don't have an opinion on that I'm going to share. Like, what do I really feel about Jody Sue? You don't want to know. Who do I really feel did this? I don't feel a male did this. I think we're in the right neighborhood if you follow me for my personal opinion. I think once it was done by this female, and that's why I think once it was done by the female, and I think it was accidental, I think that the males took over to clean up. I think it was an accident. But that's my personal opinion. Does it show that in the cards? Well, it shows that person constantly around that. And it keeps showing that the Emperor has involvement with the vehicle. So I'm like, did this Emperor, according to the cards, I'm seeing that. Did the Emperor remove Summerwell's body in the vehicle? Did the Emperor do that? But like, I'm just as clueless as you guys when it comes to me personally until I do a reading or I meditate. I get answers like given to me in little nutshells. Sometimes I don't always get all the answers. I get a glimpse of that part of the situation. It's all about divine timing. When we are meant to know, we will be shown the truth. So, I just wanted to share that. I also, just so you guys know, I don't use my messenger on Facebook ever. So for those of you I see, it comes over. It got so filled up with scammers that I basically have abandoned my messenger. But you can email me. I love that at rubberducky2005@yahoo.com. So back to the kids. I always believe my cards. I stand by my card reading 1000%. My guides are always right. Always. And if they're showing me that Ronnie Lawson is of good spirit and not intentionally screwing this up, then that is what I believe 1000%. Do I believe he's good at his job? No. No, I don't. Do I believe Summer was sold? No, because I have yet to see it in the cards. Do I believe Summer was cremated? Possibly. She got gone in a way that it was like there was a breakdown of her. And I know this sounds horrific, but I'm just getting it out there. If you go to a mink farm or a pig farm and you were to dispose of a body, it is gone. There is nothing left. We're living in the mountain area. People got pigs down south. I don't know who would. I don't know, maybe Freddy Krueger there. I mean, think about the theory. Everybody's like, nobody's asked me my own personal theory, but there's always, you got to look at it as this way. What really happened, and then the whole other story is about the disposal. I don't feel it's one story. I feel like what really happened on an earlier time frame than being stated. I do believe that. I believe it was not planned. I believe that it happened earlier and the alibis are what is planned. I believe that Dawn purposely drove the red truck, or the red Subaru, I mean. I said red truck. That's weird. I believe that there were more vehicles on the property than when the cops got there. I believe that there was a lot of stage stuff for alibis. One thing that's always bothered me is that we have two witnesses besides Candace and Grandma. You can't count Grandma. You can't count Candace as witness because they are part of it. Okay? So they're at the point of suspects. And I'm not saying these other people aren't suspects because according to TBI, everybody is a suspect. But you have Hunter and you have Allie. And Allie claimed at the time that Chris McDonough interviewed her that she went to the vehicle. She saw Summer, who appeared to be sleeping, but she was told she couldn't wake her up, that they had to get going. And now we hear rumors, which, grain of salt here, that Allie regrets not even going to the vehicle and never laid eyes on Summer. So if that is true, now we're down to one witness that saw Summer that day. He himself said he can't tell his days apart. He literally has made that clear and said, no, I'm serious. I can't keep track of time. Like, I stay up all night. I don't know what day it is. That's our witness. And he's a minor. And it's like, whatever triggered him for a lifetime. Changed his whole life. Whether he's in protective service or whether he's being treated medically or if he's in juvenile hall. whatever each saw and knows has affected him very negatively. Maybe it's just the whole idea that life didn't seem to have as much value. I mean, think of a bright, light summer's love was, and how powerful her love was. She could literally light up a room. And then it just gets put out, and Candace and the father don't show any, well, the mother doesn't show any tears until Cornbread Mafia, which to me is a muffin mafia from the mountain, the neighbors and so forth. And so is it kind of like saying that since the own mother didn't seem to value it as much, it's kind of produced a paradox to where Hunter, oh, I said his name, whatever, has an inner struggle with how the world sees the value of human life? We've got to heal this breach in our society and humanity between the parents and the kids and make it love, make it real. I love you guys. I do. I love you to the moon and back. Thank you, my guides, so much for all the blessings that you give me and my 1111 family. I ask that you humbly watch over and protect the little children, guide them, protect them to safety. I ask that all of us be given the knowledge of how to be a lantern in this darkness and where you want to use us the best to bring the acknowledgement, to bring the healing for our children. Give us the strength and the knowledge, the know-how, and let's persevere. I love you guys to the moon and back. God bless you all.